Hello, my name is Hamza Amir and I bring you this special show, Prisoners of Distrust from Pakistan. Today we are going to talk about the often ignored sticking point of Indo-Pak relations, the people who get caught in each other's countries and are accused of being spies. Take the case of Hamid Nihal Ansari, the 27-year-old Indian walked into Pakistan from Afghanistan to meet the girl he fell in love with, he claimed. But the police and security agencies arrested him on the grounds of being an Indian spy. A couple of days ago, the 33-year-old Hamid Nihal Ansari finally went back home, this time through the Attari-Wagah border between Pakistan and India.
It was sometime late in the afternoon when a crowd gathered around both sides of the Indo-Pak Wagah Attari border in Punjab. Hours before the ceremonial beating retreat, a symbol of the tension between the two nations, a heartwarming sight finally of a homecoming. Fawzia and Nihal Ansari's wait of 6 long years came to an end when their son, Hamid, returned. Hamid Nihal Ansari set foot in India to the embrace of his family after languishing in Pakistan for the last 6 years. For his parents, it's the hand of God that led him back home.
ये तो बहुत खुशी की बात है रियली हम भगवान का शुक्र अदा करते हैं अल्लाह का कि बहुत बहुत शुक्रगुजार हैं कि हम तो ये महसूस करते हैं कि हमारे प्रयास हमारी कोशिशें हमारी दुआएं बहुत छोटी थीं लेकिन भगवान की कृपा अल्लाह की मेहरबानी बहुत बड़ी है हमारी तकलीफ़ों के आगे अल्लाह बहुत बड़ा है और उसने हम पर तरस खाया और हामिद आ रहा है तो हम उसके आभारी हैं और बहुत खुशी महसूस करते हैं शुक्रगुजार हैं।
ये हम लोगों ने 6 साल तक हम लोगों ने कोई चीज़ सेलिब्रेट नहीं की है ना ईद ना दिवाली ना कुछ डेफिनेटली लेकिन इट इज़ गोना बी अ न्यू बिगिनिंग एंड मैं जितना भी बोलूँ मैं ईद बोलूँ से मैं दिवाली बोलूँ बट दैट इज़ गोना बी लेस।
In November 2012, a 27-year-old Hamid told his family in Mumbai that he had a job offer from Kabul and left home for Afghanistan. It is believed by his family that he entered Kohat in Pakistan's Khyber Pakhtunkhwa from Afghanistan in search of a woman he had befriended online. While staying at a lodge in Kohat, Hamid was detained. 3 years later, he was convicted of espionage and anti-state activities and was sentenced to a 3-year jail term in 2015. After his disappearance in 2012, Fawzia and Nihal did not know of their son's whereabouts till 2014.
I was not knowing whether my son is dead or alive. But though I have lost everything but not hope, and I got a call from Pakistan journalist. This journalist told me that share story with me and I will investigate personally, thoroughly. And if I find your son is innocent, I'll help you. She met each and everyone personally and she was the one who met the person who called my son. She met those people, the girl's father, and to all those who were involved in this. So after 2 years I got this information that at least my son is in government's custody.
On August 7th this year, as his jail term neared ending, the Peshawar High Court directed authorities to deport Hamid immediately after the completion of his sentence. The Pakistan Foreign Office confirmed Hamid's repatriation on Monday with a tweet. During his jail term, no consular access was granted to Hamid Ansari, despite 95 requests the Indian mission in Islamabad is said to have made. Though Hamid's jail term ended on December 15th, he was unable to leave for India as his legal documents were not ready. On Tuesday, the Wagah border gates finally opened, putting an end to a 6-year-long wait. The release came days after Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan told India Today that he would look into Hamid's case.
There is a young Indian who is going to be, who has been in a Pakistani jail. He strayed into your country because he fell in love with a girl. December 16th, he is officially supposed to be released. India says that they've written 66 letters asking for consular access. His name is Hamid Ansari, sir. He's a I know his mother. She broke down twice in front of me last month. I request you, sir, to please look at his case as in as humane a manner as possible, sir.
राजदीप, ये तो जो आपका तीसरा रिक्वेस्ट है वो तो इंशाल्लाह मैं अभी चेक करूँगा. This is the first I've heard of it. और इसके ऊपर तो इंशाल्लाह we'll do our best.
On December 11th, the External Affairs Ministry too had raised the issue with Islamabad in a verbal note, seeking clear details of the charges against Hamid.
For many years, the parents of Hamid Ansari have been persistently trying to focus on what has been for them a very difficult situation. If this is now coming to fruition, it is their dedication and diligence for a child. It is something that should never happen to any parent, that they lose their child in such difficult circumstances, kept away from them for no valid reason. That this trauma has come to an end.
The wait for Hamid's parents has been long and painful, but his case may be the beginning of better days ahead for many prisoners languishing in Indian and Pakistani jails on wrong sides of the border.
Well, Hamid Ansari is one of those lucky ones who could experience a warm homecoming. And that too after a relatively short duration of 6 years spent in foreign lands, most of it behind bars. As per official lists supplied by India, there is a total of at least 471 Indian citizens spread across various Pakistani jails. But the most famous or infamous, depending on which side of the border you are from, has to be the one who is called Kulbhushan Jadhav. Pakistan says he's a spy caught in Pakistan. India says he's a businessman kidnapped from Iran.
On 10th of April 2017, former Indian naval officer Kulbhushan Jadhav was sentenced to death after a secret trial by a Pakistani military court. India always claimed that in March 2016, Jadhav was kidnapped during one of his business visits to Iran's Peshawar port. Pakistan claimed that he was arrested from Balochistan and accused him of espionage and working for RAW, the Indian Intelligence Agency Research and Analysis Wing. Pakistan even produced a passport they said belonged to Jadhav, which showed his assumed name as Hussain Mubarak Patel, born in Sangli, Maharashtra. India denied that Jadhav had any links to government, but said that he was running a business in the Iranian port city of Peshawar after premature retirement from the Navy.
There is no evidence of wrongdoing by Sri Jadhav. If anything, he is the victim of plan that seeks to cast aspersions on India to deflect international attention from Pakistan's well-known record of sponsoring and supporting terrorism. Under these circumstances, we have no choice but to regard this sentence, if carried out, as an act of premeditated murder.
A month after Jadhav was awarded the death sentence, New Delhi approached the UN Court of Justice.
I would just recall to you that we had made 16 requests for consular access, which were denied.
That Jadhav was not entitled to consular access.
During the hearing in The Hague, India furnished proof that Jadhav was abducted, tortured, and presented as a spy after forced confession in military custody. Pakistan, however, maintained that Jadhav was indeed a spy and consular access was not meant for spies. On 18th of May 2017, the UN Court of Justice stayed Jadhav's execution, pending the final verdict by it.
It is appropriate for the court to order that Pakistan shall take all measures at its disposal to ensure that Mr. Jadhav is not executed pending the final decision in these proceedings, and shall inform the court of all the measures taken in implementation of the present order. The court reaffirms that its orders on provisional measures under Article 41 of the statute have binding effect and thus create international legal obligations for any party to whom the provisional measures are addressed.
While the legal tussle over Jadhav's fate in the UN court continues, Kulbhushan Jadhav was allowed a meeting with his mother and wife after a long wait of 22 months in custody. The duo, however, were allowed to see Jadhav from behind a glass pane and spoke to him via an intercom. The International Court of Justice will now hold a 4-day public hearing in the Kulbhushan Jadhav case at The Hague starting 18th of February 2019.
While the battle to hang or save Kulbhushan Jadhav is still to be fought out in The Hague, the efforts by India to bring him back is being seen in light of another such prisoner who a few years ago was on the death row in Pakistan, convicted on charges of espionage and bombing, Sarabjit Singh. And though then President Zardari commuted his death sentence to life, he still died in Pakistan. Sarabjit Singh died in a Lahore hospital after being brutally attacked by fellow inmates inside the prison itself.
On 28th of August 1990, Sarabjit Singh was arrested after he apparently, inadvertently, crossed the India-Pakistan border outside Punjab's Khalra village. At first, he was identified as Manjeet Singh by the Pakistani authorities. Later, police in Pakistan charged him for being involved in a series of bombings in Lahore and Faisalabad that killed over 10 people. A year later, Sarabjit was convicted for spying and carrying out the bombings and was sentenced to death. Sarabjit spent most of his time in Lahore's Kot Lakhpat jail, reportedly shackled to the walls in a cramped, solitary cell. In March 2006, Pakistan's Supreme Court rejected Sarabjit's appeal for mercy and upheld his death sentence. His mercy plea in March 2008 was rejected by the then President of Pakistan, Pervez Musharraf. However, his execution was later delayed by the Pakistani government after the Indian government and Sarabjit's family appealed for mercy. Years later, the then Pakistan President Asif Ali Zardari commuted Sarabjit's death sentence to life imprisonment. Ever since his arrest, a massive movement to get him a proper trial, leniency, and a semblance of transparency was spearheaded by Sarabjit's family and human rights organizations. But homecoming during his lifetime was not meant to be. On 26th of April 2013, he was viciously attacked, allegedly by other prisoners at the Kot Lakhpat jail, and suffered injuries, including a broken backbone and skull. On 2nd of May 2013, Sarabjit Singh succumbed to his injuries. Later, when his body was returned to India, an autopsy at the Amritsar Medical College revealed that Sarabjit's vital organs were missing. It was not just Sarabjit whose body parts were found to be missing, because the same thing happened to another Indian prisoner in Pakistan, Kirpal Singh. Just like Sarabjit, Kirpal too was lodged in Lahore's Kot Lakhpat jail, and both died under mysterious circumstances. The similarities did not end there. Just like in the case of Sarabjit, Kirpal's vital organs too were missing after his death.
जैसा कि मैंने सुषमा जी के पास शंका जताई थी कि सरबजीत के भी इन्होंने बॉडी ऑफ पार्ट्स और खास करके हार्ट जो उसका निकाल लिया था, तो कहीं वो ना हो कि कृपाल सिंह की बॉडी में से भी निकाल दें। तो जो मेरी शंका थी वो बिल्कुल सही हुई, क्योंकि हार्ट ने ही बताना था कि उसको आखिर कब से और पॉइजन दिया जा रहा था, क्या दिया जा रहा था।
Kirpal's death was shrouded in mystery as doctors in the autopsy report mentioned that there were no external or internal injuries on the body, but his vital organs like heart and stomach were missing. While Pakistani authorities attributed his death to a heart attack, Kirpal's family denied those claims, alleging murder.
We have to take a break now, but after the break we will go into the instances when tit-for-tat killing took place in Indian and Pakistani jails and how bodies got sent back home with hearts and stomachs missing. So stay with us here on India Today, where we are talking about the prisoners of distrust. Welcome back to Prisoners of Distrust. Before the break, we followed the story of Sarabjit Singh and how he died here in Pakistan. But about a year before his death, one fine morning in June 2012, a man with flowing grey beard walked through the Wagah gates into India and said he had been a prisoner in Pakistan for 32 years. Initially mistaken for Sarabjit Singh, Surjit Singh said he too had been an inmate of Kot Lakhpat jail in Lahore and that he had been caught spying.
28th June 2012. After over 30 years of incarceration in Pakistan, Surjit Singh returned home. Held in Pakistan on spying charges in the early 1980s, Surjit was released from Lahore's Kot Lakhpat jail and made the road journey to Wagah.
मैं जासूसी वास्ते गया सी 30 साल बाद अपने बच्चों ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਆਪਦੇ ਮੁਲਕ ਚ ਆਏ ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਹੋਰ ਕੀ ਹੋ ਸਕਦੀ
Surjit Singh was on a death row after being sentenced in 1985 under the Pakistan Army Act for espionage. But his sentence was commuted to life imprisonment in 1989. Surjit had completed his life term in 2005 but was only let off in 2012 in the midst of a controversy and flip-flop over the release of Sarabjit Singh.
ਮੇਰਾ ਕੇਸ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸੀ ਨਾ ਉਹਨੂੰ 2 ਮਹੀਨੇ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਚੱਲਦੇ ਨੂੰ 2 ਮਹੀਨੇ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਚੱਲਦੇ ਨੂੰ ਤੇ 2 ਮਹੀਨੇ ਬਾਅਦ ਪਰਸੋਂ ਚੌਥ ਯਕਦਮ ਹਿਲਜੁਲ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਹਿਲਜੁਲ ਕੀ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ ਮੀਡੀਆ ਦੀ ਗਲਤੀ ਉਰਦੂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਰਬਜੀਤ ਔਰ ਸਰਜੀਤ ਇੱਕੇ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ
I have seen media reports about the impending release from imprisonment in Pakistan of Surjit Singh, son of Sucha Singh. I welcome this decision and further renew our request to the President of Pakistan to release Sarabjit Singh, who has been in custody for well over 2 decades.
Surjit received a warm welcome back home and went on to pay his respects at the Golden Temple before finally heading home.
India and Pakistan relations are always fraught with tensions, not just over sports and politics and armies, but even over prisoners in each other's jails. Sadly, when an Indian got killed allegedly by inmates in a Pakistani jail, the same fate apparently awaited a Pakistani lodged in an Indian jail for 17 years. This is the story of the tit-for-tat killings of prisoners in jail.
The attack on Sarabjit Singh in a Pakistan jail and his subsequent death led to outrage in India. In May 2013, barely a day after Sarabjit succumbed to his injuries, there took place in a Jammu jail what has been termed as a revenge attack. Pakistani prisoner Sanaullah Haq, who was lodged at the Kot Bhalwal jail, was brutally assaulted by a fellow inmate on May 3, 2013. Vinod Kumar, a former army personnel convicted for murder, allegedly entered into a scuffle with Sanaullah over the death of Sarabjit Singh, and this led to the two coming to blows. Sanaullah fell into deep coma after he was hit on the head with a shovel. 6 days later, on 9th of May, Sanaullah died at a Chandigarh hospital of multiple organ failure. Less than 2 years later, the accused Vinod Kumar was also acquitted for lack of clear evidence. 54-year-old Sanaullah had been in prison for 17 years on militancy-related charges. The tit-for-tat killings of Indian and Pakistani prisoners led to a deterioration of ties between India and Pakistan. In July this year, India handed over a list of 357 Pakistani prisoners that were in its custody, and Islamabad shared a list of 471 Indians who are lodged in Pakistani jails.
It took 6 years for Indian national Hamid Ansari to serve out a 3-year jail term in Pakistan. But then, like I mentioned earlier, he has been one of the lucky ones. He came back alive, unlike a Sarabjit or a Sanaullah. According to the list exchanged between India and Pakistan, there are close to 1,000 prisoners stuck in each other's country. Here is hoping that everybody goes home to their side of the border, of course, after due judicial process. This is all we have on the Prisoners of Distrust. Goodbye from me, Hamza Amir, in Pakistan. And here is wishing everyone in both the countries a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Let's hope the distress lessens in 2019.